We're waiting for you. Come on in.
In 1983, Wayne Seeley bought the property at 716 North 18th Street in downtown Omaha. It had been a long abandoned and dilapidated property that had sat empty for years. Within 1 year, he remodeled it, restored it, and turned it into Omaha's premier haunted attraction, Mystery Manor. My name is Joseph Simmons. My father, Bill Simmons, started working here as the Wolfman back in 1983. He never missed a single season in the last 40 years. In this period of time, my whole family worked here as well as character actors in the house. In the late 90s, I worked here for 3 years as a killer clown in the clown room. Mystery Manor unified hundreds upon hundreds of volunteers to work here as a character actor or makeup artist, and it entertained thousands upon thousands of people coming through this house for 40 years.
In 1886, William and Greta Hall built Mystery Manor. It was the playground of the socially elite of Omaha. But in the stock market crash of 29, William lost his fortune. He also lost his mind. Garnishing an axe from the woodshed, he killed his dear Greta, chopped her up and buried her in a shallow grave in front of the house. And then on Halloween night, they found John Martin's body draped over the same gravesite with the same axe embedded in his skull. Now, some people say it was the ghost of Wayne Hall that did John Martin in. To this day, it's a mystery. So we changed the name from Hall Manor to Mystery Manor.
Well, I used to have a convenience store, the Beehive Grocery down on 16th and Cummings there, and one of my customers used to be a sign painter. I told him how I'd like to work in a haunted house, and I thought it was so cool because the way they scare people, I see the reactions. So then he used to walk his dog past here, and he saw that somebody was in here. He started talking to them, found out they're going to put a haunted house in here. So he came back down to the store, and he told me, he says, hey, if you want to work in a haunted house, they got one opening up the street.
And I was having a beer with Gene Snitley and Dick Sanders and them two idiots that says, you know, we should go out and get ourselves a property, and we don't have to tear it down, and we could keep it and build it, and we could really build something nice. And I was having a beer with them, so I just went along with it, no big deal. And we went into a CBS realtor, and Mark Leaders was the second or third day in real estate. He was manning the phones over the lunch hour. And so when we walked in, he took us to the back room and showed us all the books of Omaha. So if you can imagine, we're sitting there going through the books, and we come across this old beater house that looked like a great horror house. So he had to literally come in, and we had to kick a door in to get in. And they had 2 or 3 passed out vagrants on the first floor just in sewage. And every ice box and every stove was used as urinals and toilets. It was brutal. And we walked through the property, and poor Mark Leaders is crying, and if I would have known, I would have never have done this. As we're walking on, I said, we'll take it.
There's raisins in the apples, needles in the treats. Happy Halloween, and all the little kitties.
I actually met Wayne in the Air Force. I was stationed at Offutt in 1971 as an illustrator. There were different shops all across Offutt, and I was in the 544th, which was in the building 500, the SAC building. But Wayne was in the command area, so he did Combat Crew magazine. So he was kind of like a specialist because he was one of the best. It was kind of crazy. I got out of the service in '74 in December, so I've kind of lost touch with Wayne. And years later, when I called Wayne, we got reunited, and that's when I started working again with him at the Mr. Manor. So I would work in the swamp, and as people would come by, I would talk to them about eating them as food. So it was quite fun. Hard work though, because you'd have to do it like every minute and a half. You'd have a new group coming through. So I did that for him for a couple of years. And then one day he came to me and says, "Roger, we need a new slide master. Would you like to do that?" And I said, "Well, what's that entail?" He says, "Well, it pays $600, and all you have to do is sit and get people down the slide." So basically what I would do is tell people to keep their arms crossed, legs straight, and kiss their ass goodbye, and I'd sit them down the slide.
What's your relation to Mystery Manor?
I started there in 1988. I actually started in the Gypsy Room way back in the day in 1988, and that was much fun. And then the year after that, they had an insane asylum and started running up and down and jumping up on the bars and screaming and just acting full on crazy. And the very next year, they made the asylum up on the 3rd floor, and that's pretty much where I was housed for the rest of the time I was there. And I also at one point got to be in the snake. I was the snake lady. It was an illusion, an optical illusion, and you were half snake and half human. But they also had this giant 8-foot long at that time albino python named Lumpy, and he would basically just give me a massage all night long on my neck. He was the coolest ever, and it was a lot of fun. We had a blast down there, and I met this guy there. And yeah, we kind of eventually fell in love, and we got married, and all the Manor crew came, and Wayne Seeley, who was the owner, is the owner, and everybody showed up, and it was really wonderful.
So I've known Mystery Manor for a very long time, ever since I was probably in middle school, and I actually had a neighbor of mine that is friends with Wayne, and so for years I'm just like, I'm gonna do it this year, but I never got to it. And then one year I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I talked to my neighbor. He's like, yeah, just go to Mystery Manor and talk to Wayne. And so I finally did it. I came in here, I said hi, and ever since then, Wayne just welcomed me with open arms, and been here ever since. I play a lot of characters around here, but my most common one, the one I like the most, is being a crazy mental patient here. I find it to be the most funnest thing to do.
I knew Wayne back in the early 80s, and we worked at the March of Dimes haunted house together, and drifted apart, and then 3-4 years later he goes, "Hey, I own my own house, you want to come join?" And the rest is history. I stayed, faithful with him for 30 some years.
And what was your character at the house?
I've had several. I started out as an executioner, then I went to roadkill, basically skunk, at a white mohawk in the center of my head, and did Dead X, which is an undead FedEx driver, and my newest character, Duster, which is an ex-murderer.
Okay, sir, what's your first and last name?
James Hansen.
And how long have you been working at Mystery Manor?
About 20 years.
And name some of the characters that you've played in the house.
Mog the dog. It's from the movie Spaceballs.
Why did you choose Mystery Manor? What do you like about this place?
I like it because it's cool atmosphere. I love coming here every year to help Wayne out when he needed it.
How long have you been working down at Mystery Manor?
9 years.
9 years?
Yep.
What's your character at Mystery Manor?
It doesn't really have a name, but I've gone from a clown character to kind of like a asylum kind of character who just kind of runs around and does whatever. It's kind of whatever I feel on that day time, or like whenever we start. But
what got you interested in Mystery Manor?
I was actually working at Pepper Jack's, and someone came by and asked me what I was doing At the time, I was just doing football, school, and work. And so he told me to come down. I came down, and the rest is history. So didn't really seek it out; it sought me out.
I was a very involved haunter from late '86 up through the year 2000. I worked a lot of construction off season, building a lot of the rooms, developing props, costumes, characters, etc. And then would, of course, come back and play the entire October season. Then I would typically go back and be involved and shut down for the winter season to carry over until the next year. This is a group shot of a number of us in the hearse. This is the 61, I believe. I'm sorry, the 63. This is 63 hearse. Our original evil clown, Mr. Mistopheles. It's myself back there with a giant silver hammer prop I used with another character, Maxwell the Maintenance Man. I was doing airbrush makeup that year, that season, so I'm in my makeup outfit there. This was our Undertaker. Of course, Beetlejuice was big at the time, and we had to have a Beetlejuice, and there's another one of our generic spooks there in the passenger seat. And right across, this is right out in front of the Manor. This is the Omaha Food Bank. It's right across the street there. These are just a number of pictures throughout the years. One of my earliest characters from the house was the Fly. And this was taken right after we had built the green room, the new green room on the back of the building. And this is actually the window that looked into wardrobe there. This was a Venusian ambassador I did. This is three-dimensional makeup. You can't really tell in the picture. It's all built up, real deep cheekbones, and I mean, it was a really cool deal. It's all latex and cotton balls, then painted over the top.
The first year that they opened up, I was up here in 84. The house was totally different because we changed rooms around. Well, one day they changed the whole layout around. Well, eventually I got to work in every room in the house. And then I knew all the changes over the years, and I'd come up here and help him work on them. It just went from there. I've been here for the whole 40 years. It's really unique because I get people coming through, and I'll see them and recognize them, and I'll call out their names, and it freaks them out.
So describe the hangings, if you will. How long did they last for?
Yeah, the first hanging was 89, and I think it was probably 89, 90, and 91 were probably, I don't recall exactly, but I don't think there was any hangings after about 91. It was a very effective gig. He drugged me up to the gallows, hooked me up into the noose, dropped the trapdoor, let me dangle there for 35, 40 seconds so the people in the audience could see that, yeah, they definitely hung this guy, and my feet were hanging out the bottom. Then we would close the outer doors over the windows and take the body up and out to finish the gig. I think we did hangings for 2 or 3 seasons, and then we kind of shut that down.
Can I ask why?
I think it was a combination of not having the trained staff anymore. Our safety advisor who was overseeing everything, and the fact that the forces generated when somebody drops puts a lot of strain on the beams and the construction of the framework that this drops from. And I think more from an eventual safety concern, they brought an end to it. You would have had to have gone in and rebuilt everything. Not that there was any danger of anything breaking that caused us to stop. I think it was just kind of, if we keep doing this, we're either going to have to do some serious maintenance to it, or we run the risk of hurting somebody.
Oh, I love working in a haunted house, and I love working with Wayne Seeley. He's just one of those guys that you can tell genuinely he cares about so many people just like I do, so we get along fine.
I'm the only place I know where everybody that works at Mystery Manor matter. And what bothers me, I used to go down with the owners, and we'll be in a 9 tabletop, and they're talking, and all these 8 other guys, all they say is how their cast is an adversarial group, and all the conning they have to do. And my one line was, guys, the worst guy in your house is your house. And to be honest with you, the number 1 actor in my house is called public because it's seen through their eyes. And their shows differ every time they show up. Last season was the first time I did not miss a single day. I was in my box for every person that walked into Mystery Manor last year. I saw. Not one person walked through this house that didn't walk by me. And not one person walked in this house that was not thanked for being in this house. And like I say, we've got it down.
I'd like to kind of speak to Wayne's character. One of the things I've always found about Wayne is that he is just so good with people and caring about people. And he would bring in people off the street and have them act in the house just to feed them. Because one of the neat things about working in the house, you don't really get paid because you're volunteers, but you would always get fed at the end of the night. So there was always some type of food or dinner.
But he was always doing stuff like that. He'd have picnics, he'd have dinner parties at the end of the season, you know, for all the people that were in the house and that put a lot of effort into it. Because he just liked having theatrical people around him and stuff.
And then one of the other things that he would do is, like on a Friday or Saturday night, especially on Saturday night, he would take 4 or 5 of us out for dinner, and we would go to the Village Inn, and we'd all still be in character. So we'd go into these Village Inn down on Dodge Street off of Saddle Creek and just scare the crap out of everybody, and they just loved it.
What's your first and last name?
Wayne Halsey.
What was your character in the house?
I've had several characters in the house, but mostly almost everyone knows me as the zombie at the house.
What brought you to work at Mystery Manor?
The first year I was stationed in Omaha, I went to a haunted house down at South Roads Mall, but the next I didn't know about anything here. I'd just gotten here. So next year somebody had said, hey, we usually go and volunteer at this haunted house and scare people for October, you know, and it's for probably, I think it was like Special Olympics at that time. So it was like, well, who doesn't want to do that? So that's pretty much I got down here. I started in 1990 and been here every season. My most fun I've had is I've always claimed to be the Manor ghost. Nobody ever believed me until they figured out that it probably was me, but others, I've been the big poo-pooer of haunted houses and stuff, you know, that they're not actually haunted. There is no such thing as ghosts. And then, of course, I run around pretending to be one half the time, convincing those self-same people I'm telling there's no ghosts, that there are, in fact, actually ghosts haunting the place. I did have one person believing vehemently that there was a ghost haunting her. It was all just an accident and a confluence of great events that made for the zombie legend of haunting people. You know, people would go, oh, that can't possibly be it. Bill was up there trying to convince somebody at one point. I think it was one of Wayne's granddaughters that there wasn't any ghost, and he's sitting there, and the girls are all hiding out in the asylum hallway going, oh, it's haunted. Things are moving. It's like I'm sneaking in and moving chairs around, and I'm throwing pieces of plaster into a tub and stuff, and they're thinking, oh, it's a ghost, it's a ghost. And Bill's like, you know Wayne 2 is here. Oh, he's not around. He's not around. I'm just laughing my ass off when that's going on, and then I just vanish into the woodwork.
Mystery Manor is a pretty important part of Omaha's culture and history, Wayne.
Mystery Manor, because of the people that have went through Mystery Manor, is special.
Yeah.
In 40 years, I've never had one person come up to me with a complaint. That's 40 years.
Joe happened to be meeting up with us up here at our office and said he wanted to talk to us about something, and he had said that, you know, Wayne Seeley, the owner of Mystery Manor, was sick and not doing well, and that he had always wanted to film a movie inside of Mystery Manor. So Joe approached me and asked me if I had any interest in doing it, and I mean, without hesitation, once I found out that, you know, Wayne was sick and didn't have much longer left to live, I was on board with it. I don't think I even asked too many questions about it. But yeah, from that moment on, we were off and running. I didn't know how sick Wayne was, just from what Joe was telling me, and Joe's dad, Bill Simmons. And so we met up with Wayne shortly after to discuss things about the movie, and I wanted to find out what kind of movie Wayne wanted, because if this is something he's always wanted, and basically Wayne said it was whatever I wanted it to be. Far be it for him to tell me how to write a movie and stuff like that, but at the same token, I wanted this to be something that not only Wayne would be proud of, but anybody that's ever volunteered, worked, acted at Mystery Manor over its almost 40 years, something that they could all be proud of, and that basically told the story of Mystery Manor.
Amanda, what kind of experience do you have with Mystery Manor or the haunts in Omaha in general?
I've been working at the Shadow's Edge for 19 years, but I've been around the haunt community as well. For 19 years, I've volunteered at Mystery Manor during off season, and I've helped with like Ghouls Gone Wild, Field of Screams, and their Christmas special, Deck the Halls, I think. Jeremy Lubash actually reached out to me and needed some makeup artists, so I offered to be a makeup artist, and especially with the connection I've had with the Manor and Wayne, I really wanted to be a part of this project.
I think fate was testing me. Last 2 days I haven't had heat in the house.
Oh no. Alright.
What are you doing there?
I am mixing silicone, so it's a third degree. So this is 2 parts. So one part is a part A concoction, and then part B is another part. Then it turns 2 liquidy types of things into a solid. So I can mold it and make it into what I want.
It's like resin.
Yes.
And will never come off.
It will. The only other thing is I'm nervous where I need to put the mark. Is this actually like John Martin style?
I am John Martin.
Okay, you are John Martin. Okay. Where is the axe mark? I always have to remember.
I don't know. That last couple I've had is straight down the center. But I don't know where they're going to put it on me.
Can you face towards me?
Yep.
Well, I'm just going to go for the middle.
Do you want any glitter? I've got tons of glitter.
Oh, I got plenty of glitter. I have a...
I love resin myself. So, or molds.
I actually... My clown at the haunted house has a ton of glitter, and I always wear the glitter. Before haunt season ended, I bought like $100 worth of glitter. Just for makeup.
Sweet.
I hope that's big enough. Might be too big, actually.
If you ever get a chance, Transylvania Twist and Transylvania 65000 are both funny. Stupid funny.
What was I just... I haven't really watched anything lately. I rewatched Salem because I went to Salem, but that's all I've been on lately. I didn't even watch any of my Ghost Adventures. No.
Just want to make sure how the next one's coming along. So I can report back.
I'm doing it in the right spot, right?
Sure. Perfect.
You're supposed to... You're no help here.
He runs out there, quick, change the angle, change the angle.
Okay. I think we're going to be good.
Cool.
Cliff, can you look at me?
Besides the blood. I need to add blood.
All right. Oh, we got more blood to add too?
Yes. We're obviously going to put blood on here,
Yeah.
but just
When I'm needed.
when he's needed.
Oh yeah. Oh, so this is it. This is the end product.
Not complete.
Until the blood.
Yes.
Yep.
Until you need to put the blood.
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Huh. Good job.
Thanks.
Ooh.
That was actually kind of cool. You're like, worship me. I think so. That's what I'm aiming for.
That's cold on the
I just like to torture you. Nope, you're not getting that side. Alright, turn. Come to your back.
Okay, look at me.
But you'll never be a cuckoo.
Open your mouth. Yeah.
I'm so tired from that.
We have him come down and play in the house a couple of times.
I know I'm
He's been down here
airbrush
before.
artist. That's what I do.
I'll figure it out. It's like for a card.
I like that mask on him.
Get it all.
He's courteous.
The flips?
Dustin,
There's way too many.
I will give you $100 if you walk down the alleyway towards that homeless person.
You'd be like, bro, am I saying shit?
He would be throwing money at it. It's like, oh, now all of a sudden you have money.
Okay, that's a good handstand. That'll work.
Alright, Justin, let's see what you got.
He's like, you just missed what I just did? Ninja.
I fell.
Well, I thought we were gonna leapfrog that one.
Crab walk?
He's like, bro, it's hot outside.
Yeah. I'm gonna sweat it off.
He's drunk homeless that way.
Yeah, sure.
Where'd he go?
He's went that way.
Saw Justin walking out, he's like,
Okay.
so that body paint really stuck.
I'm just gonna go.
It's hard to wake up. I don't feel like shit, but I crave sleep.
Oh, this old house is nice and strong. They don't build them like this anymore. No, this house could withstand a tornado and still be standing tall. Yeah, she's healthy as a horse. This place used to be a prostitution house, or a bordello, or what you might call a brothel. Men from all over would come here and get their jollies. Men just like you. I'm Wayne Seeley.
You are Wayne Seeley.
That's spelled W-A-Y-N-E, last name S-E-A-L-Y. I'm the owner, operator, and founder of Mystery Manor Haunted Theater.
So you're Walt Shatley playing Wayne Seeley.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm Walter Shatley.
Okay.
I'm none of those things.
Yeah. This is Brandon, the makeup artist.
What's up? He's gonna make me Wayne.
Can you multitask, Brandon?
I can try.
Can you tell me what you're doing to Walt here?
Oh.
Assuming that I've never seen you do it before.
Right. So right now, Walter has a little darker hair than Wayne normally does. So we will apply a wig and extra beard extension and such. But sometimes Walter's hair likes to peek through. So I'm just hiding some of that right now.
My hair is vain and it wants to be in the shot.
Right. Then I'll be aging Walter a little bit.
So you're transforming Walter into Wayne Seeley.
Correct.
Yeah. I have bleached the beard. My chin was already white, but I still had some black along the spots that are a little bit yellowish right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent the past couple weeks bleaching.
Now you get to see the best part of Walter's head. The back.
Okay, thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Good God, mine.
Oh, that's what I wanted.
You're gonna come back to the latex, then?
Yeah. Good.
These are the dog days of summer right here.
Yeah.
A specific character?
Oh yeah. Hey, he needs to see
Which
it.
one is it? Yeah, show me.
No, yeah, show him.
Penguin.
Dan, need DeVito.
Oh, you
Brian, come
are the
out
greatest young person
Do that again.
a role model could have.
Danny DeVito tattoo.
Make sure I got the
hair stuck.
Don't let me get in your way.
Don't get in the way.
Then I can.
I'd start giving you lines, but they're filming over there. So, ooh, that just tickled. It gave me a shiver. Isn't that weird? It tickled the outside of my eye.
The outside of here?
Yeah, something touched like here.
Oh, okay.
And maybe made me shiver.
They're all wild, so they're all wild hairs right here, so. Bound and determined to have. And put the lid on.
I'm Wayne Seeley. Owner, operator, and founder of Mystery Manor Haunted Theater. Welcome to Mystery Manor. Welcome to Mystery Manor here in our 38th year of operation. I am Wayne Seeley, owner and operator of Mystery Manor. Come on down and get a good scare.
Hey, Wayne Seeley.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Welcome to Mystery Manor.
You fooled me for a minute, buddy. From a long ways away.
Well, that's the idea. How about up close, though?
Yeah. You got me. Should wear that. Where's Jeremy? Hey, Wayne came out here. What? Get out here. Yeah, Wayne's here. Seriously. Wayne's here. Oh my gosh.
Trying to decide on what cane I should be using. How's it going in there?
That's great.
That's close, huh?
Are you
Pretty damn
are you
good.
make- are you making
I'm
me-
not even gonna lie. For a second, when I came out here, I was like, "Holy shit! It really is him."
When I was coming up here, I looked. I was like, "No."
Wow.
It took a second.
Making me look good in there.
He sounds. I'm like.
Disneyland's going.
That's right. It's like Disneyland, right?
This is like Disney.
Disneyland. Are you filming Disneyland?
Better than Disney.
Can you just? Thing he always has. That he would not.
Never.
He wouldn't touch that.
I don't think we're gonna have it for the show anyway.
Let's get a little bit of blood on your hands.
Do you have enough blood to get on our hands?
On his hands, I'm gonna do real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead and mix that in, get it on the tops. Top of your other hand.
Maybe even like when it's at a Dutch angle, you can start blocking.
There we go.
But I'm gonna.
That looks good.
Get back.
Just try not to touch floor or walls too much. So you're gonna be like you're digging,
Hold that open until you walk.
like you're digging in her hands, or in her head, digging in her intestines. Just yeah.
Do you want her eyes open or shut?
Her eyes are gonna be open. Tony, go to your right just a little bit because we need to have you block her face. There we go.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, you moron?
Cut.
Take two.
And action.
Hey! Be careful with that! That's expensive equipment! You can't be touching my equipment like that!
Oh, I bet you'd love to have him touching your equipment. Honk, honk. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep, there it is. Yeah.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm Cuckoo the Clown. Yeah.
Cut. So we start with him standing in the doorway, And then his first line is, "You have some explaining to do," which is Forrest right here.
Forrest is standing there?
Yeah.
Is she over there?
No,
She's right here.
Yep. No, not just yet. You then you go to. So this is what I'm picturing for Wayne. Like he's just, what the hell is going on? That was off camera. And then he goes, takes a step forward. He's like, "You got some explaining to do." And then
where's the other guy?
Oh wow! Like no, it is. Yeah, sorry. No, look at you. Then look at you. You're trimming.
And I'm gonna add a sweetheart. If that's all right. I've been told that's a Wayne thing.
Okay.
Look at you, sweetheart. You're trembling. Everything's gonna be okay.
And then he goes back up
Everything
to him,
is okay.
and then he just says, "Where's the other guy?"
Is he dead too?
Yeah. And are the other people blah blah blah?
Is there anybody else from the station here in the house?
And then he says, "Oh, really now?" And I think that's where we go to, is the "Oh, really now." So we're going to follow him here, then to her, then back up to him, and then "Oh, really now."
Yep, me too.
You good? Set, James?
Yep, I'm good.
Action.
And we did what we do best, which is put on an elaborate show, just for you.
Cut. Am I good?
Yeah.
What kind of experiences do you have with Wayne?
Nothing but good, honestly. I mean, ever since day one, I walked through the doors and he was just, like, he saw my size and was like, "Holy moly!" And he loves the big tall guys. So I walked through. He was like, "All right, we got the perfect room for you," and he put me in the slaughterhouse my first few years. And he just, every time you talked to him, he was always happy and just happy to see you. And never really mean to anyone, and just all around, I can't say enough good things about him. He was a grandfather I didn't have.
When I came here, Wayne Seeley opened his arms to having me here, and it got me into doing more with the house, and teaching me how to do more scares and all that. I'm gonna miss coming here every year.
I'd just like to thank Wayne and all of his family for, at least supporting or begrudgingly let go on all of this insanity for, basically what, 40 years or whatever it is that it's been on here. So that's good.
I've known Wayne through the community. We've talked about scaring and acting to makeup to different props and costumes. Hearing his stories from Adventureland and even Haunt Season, and how much he appreciated all his actors and anyone that even wasn't his actors. He was always a kind-hearted soul.
The man was a saint for the most part. I mean, I'm over-exaggerating, I know, but he could never say anything bad about any human being. And if you needed help, he was always there to help you. And he was a dreamer. He was definitely a dreamer, and he lived his dream. And he wanted to make sure that his house would be remembered for years, and it will be.
They come down here, pay for their tickets, come over here, and then go into this room here. This is where Wayne Seeley, the owner of the Mystery Manor, would take his axe and go up here and hit it right above your head, and people swear they hit him in the head. But he has a way of doing it and laying the axe on your head. So this is the first room they come to before they go upstairs. And he explains to him about Greta Hall and William Hall and the brother-in-law, John Martin. Anyways, this is a portrait of what William would look like. So William's the one that during 1929 he came in and stock market crashed and he lost everything, and so he axed his poor wife Greta to pieces, and then the next day, or he buried her the next day, and then John Martin took William Hall and hit him in the head with an axe, killed him, and then the next day after that, somebody killed John Martin with an axe. They think it was William Hall getting revenge or something, but we don't know. Anyways, that's what the story goes, and then they send him up the stairs. And up here is the hallway entrance to the main haunted room. This is where they line up and they explain to you about a little bit about the manor. You knock 3 times on the door here. That's when they open up the door, let you into the haunted room. Work anymore. Okay. Well, anyways, this is the haunted room. It's always been the haunted. It's the main part of the house. It's the parlor. It's always been here. The coffin, however, has been broken. It's got to be repaired. So you come through here. There's a skull here. This skull has been here for, geez, about 35 years. This used to be what was remnants of an old cave part of the house. They used to make it look like a cave. This used to be the bottle room years ago. They used to have black cloth come down and had the old 2-liter pop bottles in there. And you used to have to move around them to get through the next room. Now it's just an illusion room. Got skeleton here. He's the Undertaker. He talks about when Greta Hall got murdered and stuff. There's her headstone there next to the well that's out in the front yard. It just matches it to a T. This is still part of the old cave, but now they added this in it. This is the cabin. And we have a spooky doll there that's a lot of entertainment. The doll is actually creepy enough that people get freaked out about it. Anyways, they come over here and they come through here. And we have a animatronic, Fluffy. Who, when it's activated, it can scare the crap out of you. What you see in here is this is a toxic area now. No more swamp. They took the swamp out and put in the toxic area. This is the other part of the caves. What you're standing on is part of the old swamp area. It came out into the organ room, which is now the gypsy room. The fortune teller. She tells your fortune. She can read your palms. She can tell your fortune. The organ is just as old as the house is. This used to be old werewolf room. Now it's a clown room. This is a clown room out here also. It used to be medieval because they have the Iron Maiden here. This Iron Maiden has been here ever since the house opened too. Then you got the castle here, the castle beside. This is where these stairs here are the original stairs, both sides. These stairs here are for the actors to go up and down. So we put a chain across there. Over here we have where the customers go upstairs. When it came from the other direction, they used to come in through here and go up. Now they come through where the clowns are and come up. Then they had dragons up here. They took the dragons down. They're in storage, by the way. Anyways, now they got the steps actually are slanted on purpose. You come up to the second floor here, and you have the sane asylum. Now, the sane asylum used to be the red, black and white room. It was in a square, black and white squares throughout the whole room in here. So that then you had to go up, had it off the floor about 2 or 3 feet. You had to squeeze in through the open door and then go back down before you could go into the other room. But right now it's a sane asylum. They had it sane asylum for a short time, then changed it back again. Now it's an asylum again. Anyways, in here we have the window here that's got wire in it to make it look effective enough. It's got the bathtub in here, sink. We had the dentist chair. The dentist room, we added it 5 years ago. 5 years ago we had this room. Before it was where the monsters would go in between. It wasn't open to where the public could see in there. Oh, and that is Sally. They call her Sally, or Fingers. They call her, no, not Sally, but Fingers. Because we have another animatronics called Sally. This one's got fingers that are chewed off. And that was bought that way. And she was a good attraction for a while. These are rubber bars. And then we have the sane asylum room where the bed is, and the wheelchair, and got tore up a little bit, but there used to be bars up there. Somebody had an idea to put a pentagram on the floor. Some people will not step on that pentagram. They go around it or jump across it. They refuse to do that. Here we added the padded room. It's a horseshoe effect. But before, like I told you, the floor would come up to about here, and then it would go down. So you had to come up, well, about to here, because you had this much clearance to come in and go down. But they took that plywood out and made it just flat. So, anyway, to go through here, the padded room, it's a horseshoe effect. And people get scared they want to come in, but they have to. And they come in here, and there's a dot room. This used to be the coffin room. It's called the slanted room because they did the same thing here. They got it slanted upward. But they had a coffin sitting here, and people would come up, and they had a piece of plexiglass in front, but people would spit on you, or try to. Anyways, that lasted for, 10, 15 years. They took it out and put in this dot room. And believe it or not, it's real effective. People start partying until you come out of the corner and scare the crap out of them. This is called the burnt hallway. Now, back when they first opened, for the first 7 or 8 years, it was called the Monster Hall of Fame. And we had full-size monsters. They had Frankenstein, werewolf, they had Dracula, they had Bride of Frankenstein, they had several monsters, except for the last one was left empty. And that was for one of the actors in the house. Okay, this is Egypt. They had a guy come in here and put the hieroglyphics on the walls and stuff. A sarcophagus here. We have a mummy once in a while in here. And now we just have people so they can take photographs. But we come around here. Oh, before it was Egypt, when they first opened it, they had it as the enterprise room. They had like a spaceship part of this here. This used to be a wall here with it was electrified. They used to scare people with an electric fence. They took it out. They had this, was like all kinds of buttons flashing and everything. It was just unbelievable. But they took that out to change, because they have to change so many rooms around. And so they took this and made it into Egypt, and it's been that way ever since. It's been like this for 20 years. But it's the reason why they left it like this is because they'd have the door shut. People, they were in the dark. When they open this up, this is a vortex that would light up. They would have Star Trek people in here sometimes, and sometimes not. And then this thing would circle, and you're trying to walk across here, and you can't catch your balance, because that's why they got the bars up here, so you can catch your balance. So then we come back here. We got Deadeye here. He's actually a half a body now, but he used to be a full body. The other half's in storage. Anyways, he's there. So when you get to about this direction over here, air cannon goes off. And then we cut the slide of doom. This is a slide of doom. The pictures here you see are used to be down in the clown room. Now they're up here. They're old. And got a plunger here in case somebody says, well, what happens if I get stuck? We go, got a plunger, we can get you out of there. Haven't used it. I think we used it the first 2 years. Haven't used it in 37 years.
We'll go now to where the slide dumps you out at.
Yep.
Let's go through here.
Coming. Loose. I tightened that damn thing up for a while.
So upstairs is where you come out of here.
Yep,
when
the
you come
bottom
down
of
the
the
slide.
They come shooting out of here, and when it's the colder it is, the faster they come out. We have them shoot out all the way, sometimes all the way out here. It's so they don't go past here though. They come all the way over to here though when they come flying out of there. Some don't, some do. Here's Frankenstein that used to be upstairs in the clown room. Well, Frankenstein's monster. Anyways, he's down here now because he shakes the floor. They have a cement pad that he's on. This is called the slaughterhouse. It used to be the clown room years ago when they first opened. Well, they opened this up, I think, as a clown room, about 3 years after they opened, 3 or 4. Anyways, it went from the clown room to the slaughterhouse because people didn't want to go down the slide because they thought the clowns were down here. So they went clown free for 2 years, and then they opened the clown room upstairs. This is a slaughterhouse. They put Frankenstein down here. He's been down here for 5 years. He was in storage for 6 years. Anyways, this is called the slaughterhouse. They got an electric chair here. They got all kinds of stuff that you slaughter with. There's a table here. They had a chopper too. So, anyways, there's a cage here. They put in. They built that in there. You come through here. This is part of the slaughterhouse because there's a dead body. It's all chopped up. Then you got a pick. Got bones and parts and stuff. Come through here. Still got a goat. Got another goat.
Here, move out of the way.
It's another goat. There's a slide here, secondary slide. They go through here and come out the other side over there. Okay. Through here is where, once they go on that slide back there, they come down through this slide. This slide here. It's a short slide, it's only 6 feet. And they come out here, and then people pop out of there to scare them, or then they come up here, and the exit door is right here.
What is this room?
Okay.
What is in here?
This room here was added on to the house. This is for the old props and stuff that from people who passed on, like Dr. Bob down there and Bill Fenton's puppet. And then you have Stretch's hat there. He used to be real tall, the tallest guy here, 6'9" or something like that.
Who's been here before? Who hasn't? Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for coming back.